Shit, we in here. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
I'm Billy Sorrells,
I'm Coco Sorrells.
and this is On the Rocks. Billy and Coco on the Rocks. We're starting it off today with our good friends over there. You know who this is?
Woo, the MD 2020.
MD 2020. Grape wine with natural flavors, banana red.
It was calling my name at the grocery store. I don't know.
Well, they made it for a reason. Damn sure know the product worked. We done seen it.
I figured if we're going to try different drinks, we can start with the oldie. I haven't had an MD 2020 in a long time, though.
Yeah, I had one.
But I figured we'd start with an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, this right here, this real. Our vodka that we got today is being brought to you by our good friends over at Tito's Vodka. So let's go ahead and get this going. How we do this is very simple. Repeat after us at home. The first shot today we doing is from my good friends over the 323ers. We're gonna party like rock stars. We're gonna fuck like porn stars. And we're gonna come like shooting stars. There it is. All right. Okay, that's one. We in there. Damn.
It's bad when you got to chase it with the MD.
Yeah, whenever you chasing anything with MD, you starting the party off right.
All right.
All right. So how this really works here is real simple. We got our cards, we got our questions, we got our liquor, and we going all the way in.
Yeah. So these are my set. I wrote down a bunch of questions. He wrote down a bunch of questions. We're going to exchange sets.
All right. There you go.
And then we get to pull and then
Answer these questions. Now, the way the game works is real simple. You answer a question, you take a shot. You don't answer a question, you take 3 shots. So, I mean, that can go how you want it to go.
Oh, man.
Let's see how we're going to get into this.
Right.
So, the rule is automatically no lying, so it takes my favorite thing to do out of the game. I can't lie. I'm pretty good at it. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and start.
All right, you can start. Go ahead.
All right. There we go. What is the most absurd thing you've ever stolen? Oh, what's the most absurd lie you've ever stolen or told?
No. What is the most absurd lie you've ever told? Sorry, it's like...
Question.
Yeah. What is the most absurd lie that you've ever told in your life?
Thank God it wasn't you. I talked about it on our good podcast over the Did You Miss Me podcast. It's called Greatest Lie Billy Ever Told, Part 1 and 2. You can go watch that. I think that's episodes 32 and 33. Where I basically lied to a young lady that I was dating and told her because I ended up getting caught in a hotel. Yeah, I got caught in a hotel, but she didn't catch me in a hotel. She came to the hotel.
Was this your girlfriend?
I mean, at the time.
Oh.
But we was off and on, back and forth like Aaliyah. My good friend Lil Paul was with me, and I didn't know shit about online banking. So she was going through my online banking, saw where I was at the time because I wasn't answering my phone, used that to call the hotel I was at because they had to put my card on file. Showed up there, knocked on the door. I freaked out because me and Paul had some chicks over there in the hotel room. So I called the police. I called 911 and said it was a woman with a gun on my floor. And the police came, made her leave. And I knew I had to go home eventually. So in order to go home, I was like, fuck. I got to admit that my car was at this place because I'm sure she saw my car. But then I was like, well, what if I'm not in my car? Or what if that wasn't my car at all because my car is gone? So what I ended up doing was taking the car that I was in, going to a ditch, which happened to be next to a Whataburger, and driving the car in the ditch and then laying under the car so that I looked like I got ran over some kind of way. Like whoever it was stole my car, then came back and ran me over. So when I did it, dude was throwing trash like at the Whataburger, taking the trash out, and he seen me running to the ditch, and he was just looking. And then when I crawled under there and I started yelling, ah, he's like, oh man, this nigga tripping. So I just laid out there until the ambulance came. And then when the ambulance came, it wasn't just the ambulance, it was a fire truck first. And so the fire truck niggas was looking like, you can get out if you want to. And I was like, no, I can't move, I can't feel my legs. And he was like, oh, okay, all right. And I just started yelling, and he was like, you want to go to the hospital? I was like, yep, I do, I want to go to the hospital. And then I said, you got to call my girlfriend and let her know where I'm at. So he called her, and she showed up at the scene, and Lil Paul showed up first, and it was just, I told Paul basically, I was like, look, I'm just going to lay here, and I'm going to the hospital. So when they told me what hospital I was going to, I told her a different hospital to tell them that I was going to. Then I just didn't go to the hospital. I waited till she drove off so she could head out that way, and I got in the car and didn't go.
So you pretended to be ran over by your own car.
Yeah, I pretended to be ran over by my own car to avoid confrontation, dog. I'll drink to that.
You're an idiot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's my turn now to pick a question.
Yeah, I mean, I damn don't want to ask you the fucking the
same question. I really don't have any like crazy lie stories. I was a pretty good truth teller. The only time I did do a big lie was because I wasn't allowed to go to prom. I had to sneak to prom. And I was in 10th grade, but the guy that I was really good friends with, we were like, I thought, hey, if we don't both have dates for the prom, we'll just go with each other. And then the date kept getting closer and closer, and I was like, oh gosh, he didn't have a date, and I didn't have a date, but I couldn't tell him, like, I'm really not even allowed to go.
Yeah, your daddy's crazy. He's
So the day comes, I tell my parents, because I was in student council, but I was like, oh, I'm on the prom committee, I have to go just to like set up so that when the prom happens, everything's set up and then I get to go home. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, and I also probably should get my hair done so that way, it won't look too bad. So they're like, okay. And I was like, and I might just have to get a dress because people will be coming in and you don't want to be, I don't want to feel out of place. Somehow I got all this together and my mom was like, all right. And then sends me off. And my dad the whole time didn't know. My mom was just like, okay, well, you're here. Okay, we'll see you. How long is it going to take to set up? I was like, I don't know. So we head off. I meet my prom date down there. And we walk in and we were like, oh, should we take pictures? And I was like, oh, we can take pictures later. We should have just did it right then and there.
You would have forever had the picture.
Would have had that picture. So we went downstairs and I put my purse down. We danced to one song. And then I was like, oh, let me get my camera, the digital camera that my mom lent me because I was, I was working. But I was like, oh, let me take a picture of the decorations or whatever. And I look at my cell phone and I had like 15 missed calls from my mom. So I was like, my heart started beating like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh God, oh my 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 God. So I call it and all my mom says is, Courtney, your father's on his way. You might want to start heading to the door. And I was like everything just slowed down. I was like,
slow motion.
How am I gonna? I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, my mom said my dad's on the way. I gotta go. And everybody's like, what? So he turns around and he's like, well, and he's like dancing with himself as a joke. And I felt so ashamed. And literally as I turned to look, my dad is coming down the escalator, like with this scowl, like just looking, like prowling over the crowd. And I was like, oh my God. He takes me by the hand like I'm a child. And so we're walking and I'm going like this. And people are like, hey, Court. Oh.
Stand camera. Strikes again. Walked
me out in front of everybody. It was the most embarrassing, but that was like probably one of the biggest lies I told, and I got so it was so embarrassing. People remember that till this day. Like, dang, you remember when? Like, went to prom, and then Kyle had to dance by himself the whole night because he didn't have a date.
Yeah, this is. I feel like a real scumbag, a real piece of crap right now because I feel like my lie was just such a heroin moment of just evil, and I just felt like in comparison, I was like, damn, boy, that was like basic, normal, non-sociopath lie she told. I'm just, what is my problem?
You have serious issues.
Serious issues. But I'm like, if you're gonna lie, you gotta lie big. If it's just, wow, I mean, why lie for little shit? I mean,
oh my God.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
All right, let's see.
Again, this is Billy and Coco on the Roxx.
Okay. When was the what? What is this question? When was the first time you were happy doing something you said you would never do?
Very plain question here. Very specific.
When was the first time When was the first time you were happy doing something you said you would never do?
Yeah, I think everybody at home gets that. That's definitely one way. A couple ways you can answer that. There was something you said at one point you would never do.
I always said I'm never gonna do drugs. That's for crackheads.
Well,
but when I took that first X pill, oh, it was amazing. I always said when I was a kid that I would never do drugs because that's for bad people and crackheads. Drugs lead to crack.
Crack is the final.
Because they always made it seem like everything led to crack. It was like, you smoke weed, you're gonna be a crackhead.
I mean, I can see where crack comes in the equation of like down the line. Like, come on, just come on.
You know you
just come on.
You know you want to. But no, I first took like my heart drug when I was like my early 20s, and it was ecstasy. But me and my then roommate / workmate, we were like, she was like dating this dude or whatever, and he was like, I know where to get some, and we were like, okay. So we took one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling anything. Took another one, 5 pills in. We had, in the middle of the summer, we had the heat on 90 in the car, and we're riding around, and we're just like, you're just amazing. You're just an amazing person. Like, you deserve the world. Like, we're just like having these come to Jesus moments, and we're like, let's pack our bags. We got to go somewhere. Atlanta. Let's drive there right now. We drove all the way to Atlanta on a roll. Like, the whole time was blasting 90 degrees. Then turn it all on 60. All right, who else go? Okay, 90. Like, it was just ridiculous. But the whole time I'm looking at the moon like, wow. Like, this is why drugs are so... Why does everyone hate drugs? Drugs are amazing.
The drugs are great. I don't. I'm just sitting here listening like, well, that was it for me. I'm in.
What about you?
Oh, what?
Something you said you would never do that you ended up being happy doing.
Get married. Because I never was going to get married. I was where I had it all planned out. Just going to have me a vet and some Ferraris and some fast cars. I was never getting married. I never had a high school. I didn't have really no loves in high school. And if it wasn't for like the last ditch relationship in college, this shit was, I was on, if I had got a kid at 28, bro, I was on my way to being a nigga that was going to be 30 plus with no kids and not giving a damn, with pockets full of money. As I see, I made it to the money. It's just, God damn it, the kids, so many of them. Then I got married. It's just like, not that it slowed me down, but I'm happy though. It's not like, I spent a lot of empty nights like searching, yearning for something. And then it's like, a lot of it had to do with my drive and tenacity in my career that I wanted to have. But then it was like a lot of it became fulfilled that it was like, am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then it was like, no, I definitely am. It means something to somebody that's going to last a long time, as well as the things that I like doing for myself. So it's like, now that I'm able to use my career to take care of my family, I'm happy because I'm doing it the way that I wanted to and not on the terms of doing something I didn't want to do to just have kids and take care of a family.
Honestly, I was kind of the same. I didn't want to get married and I didn't want to have kids until I did.
Yeah, I guess we became each other's thing. We said we never do.
Marriage, what if I get married and then like I meet my soulmate and I'm like, dang it. I always thought like that. Like marriage is so permanent.
Thank God you found your soulmate. I'll tell you something. I will cut this goddamn camera off right now. I will cut this damn camera off. This show it'll be the first and the last episode of this.
It's not as like everyone made marriage seem like most of the married people that I knew, aside from like the older generation, so I was like, that's just their generation. But like the people my age that were married, they were so boring.
They just like, boring people. It wouldn't matter if they were single or not.
So. And then I was like, I never wanted to be like a young mom. Like I was like, I've refused, and I'm definitely not gonna be a baby mama. I wanted to be like an old mom. I wanted to wait for like to be like Halle Berry's age. That's what I always wanted to be, like older, because I wanted to live my life, have my fun, and then start kids.
Well, you definitely lived your life and had your fun.
Well,
it's like what else did you want?
It's kind of the good timing, because I had my first kid at 28, 29. And so
we had our first kids at the same time. It just so happens that I'm older than you. Way older than you. Yeah.
But no, it was like good time because it's like late enough in my 20s to where I'm like, okay, I got to live some life. But then when my kids are in high school or college or whatever, I'm not going to be like the super old lady that's just like, who is that? Is that your grandma? No, it's my mom.
Yeah, you got it right time.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
No.
I'm looking crazy.
No. Don't agree with you.
You know when you talk to someone but their eyes don't be in your eyes, they'd be all over like this, like looking around, like your hairline.
Well, I got a half of an X pill in me right now, so that I'm jigging. Okay, MD and an X pill. So what? Sue me. Let's get to this next question.
Okay.
Who is the person you slept with that is so embarrassing you kept it a secret? Oh wow. Let's see here.
I know you gotta have one.
Or
a couple, probably.
One. Jesus Christ. Girls be like, yeah, it was me. Never happened. Fuck you mean. Shit. Where do I want to start with this?
There's that many?
I'm trying to find one like that was like out.
A super rat?
It wasn't so much a rat. It was just like, God. All right, my homeboy Willie, I hit his mom.
What?
Yeah, I hit his mom. His mom.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it was bad, bruh.
Ew.
My homeboy Willie, I hit his mom. So I told you a little bit about it,
Wait, okay. Here's a story that you told me. You told me that you went on a date with her. This is the one that took you to the movies, right?
Oh no, that's my homeboy Martell's mom. I didn't hit her.
Good Jesus, there's more than one.
Yeah, but all right.
God.
Well, I'll tell you about my homeboy Martell's mom. So I'm in LA. Strangely enough, I'm broke, of course, right? So I come over there. I'm like, yo, man, what's going on, man? He's like cool, and his mom was like, hey, you want to get some food tomorrow? I'm cooking and I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Like, yeah, thanks. Let me sleep on the couch.
Right,
I'm just trying to rough it and make it. I'm living on 63rd, Crenshaw and 63rd, in this Crenshaw Inn, trying to make it, trying to get
this is in Cali.
Yeah, this is in Cali, and so his mom is the one that since you brought the story up, his mom is the one who was like, I'm gonna take you out to eat, and then out to eat turned out to be a full-blown date that she brought me out on. And it was, I didn't catch it at first. She picked me up from the Crenshaw Inn, and she had on these big-ass glasses. And I couldn't see, like, she was a big water bug, and she had her hair all dressed up. And I was just like, what's she doing? And she had, like, a little chest puffed up, but she was a male woman, a male lady. So
she had
a male woman body.
A upper body.
She got an upper body like a male woman. Like she just be doing a little pull down machine over and over again. So she picked me up in her Lexus and shit, and she had the windows down and music up, and she kept rubbing on my thigh, and I was just like, I'm so hungry right now. I just want to get to this food. So we went to Cheesecake Factory in the Grove, and then so like I'm coming out of Cheesecake Factory, and she keeps getting up trying to come on my side and keeps like talking in my ear, and then keeps trying to put her tongue on my earlobe, and I'm just like,
But she was hungry.
I was so hungry, and that goddamn jambalaya was so awesome.
That jambalaya pasta is so good at cheesecake.
And she was like, "You want some dessert?" I was like, "Yeah." So we leave out of there, and I'm thinking, all right, night's over with. I just gotta get back to my room. She was like, "You know, it would be fun. We should just go pop over and go see a movie." And I was just like, "No, it's not." She was like, "I'm really tired." She was like, "I got the tickets already online." I was like, fuck. And it was one of them black ass movies. I can't remember if it was a Tyler Perry, like something crazy. Whichever the one where the dude gets crippled and he's.
That's the first one. Like that was the first movie.
Yeah, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Yeah, man, she took me in there, bro, and it was all type of young chicks around that was like my age and shit, and so they all looking at me, and she like locked fingers with me. I'm just like, fuck, man. Man, she had this like this little blouse thing with ruffles, but it had like a fine cheetah print like on it, but it was fine, like real small. But it was so shiny, and her body was so boxy, and so it was like a little thing that tied it around to make it tighter. It was just, she had all this back out, and so her shoulders was just like. She was like, "I've been working out all week trying to get fine because I knew I was gonna see you," and I'm just like, "Oh God." She had like a slight gap, so we in the movies, and then
you never text him while this was going on, like, "Hey, what's going on with your mom, bro?" Like,
no, bro, and not at all, because it was so awkward, because he was at work at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, mom's gonna take you somewhere, man. She's gonna make sure you show you around the city," and I'm like, "Yeah, not that." She's too busy trying to stick her tongue down my throat, trying to kiss me in the movie, and I was just like, "Bro, this shit gotta stop." And then at a certain point, once the ladies behind me was laughing, the girls behind me was young, they was laughing and shit. They dying laughing. They were just like, so she gets up to go to the bathroom, and I was like, fuck. And then the lady behind me was like, "Not what you wanted to be, huh?" And I was like, all right, who said that? And they all started laughing and shit. "Ooh, she coming back. We don't want to get you in trouble." And then somebody's like, "This is grandma." And I was like, "No, it's not." And so I was like, fuck, man. And then I just started thinking, I was like, if I'm already here, I got to figure out how this can be off the mind. So I started saying, I got to get some phone bill money or something. I was a male thought at that day.
You turned into it, yeah.
I still hadn't told you who I hit that I didn't want to tell nobody. And like I said, my homeboy Willie mom. And Willie and I, we went to church together. And so... You know how you go by somebody's house looking for them and they ain't there, and you just be like, "All right, well, I'm gonna come back." Because, all right, my mom.
That's a whole different story. Okay, that was just the one you went on a date on. This is the one.
Because you brought that up, but I just had to tell you because it was like, I didn't want to just be like I'm dodging the question. Yeah. So this particular time, I go over to go look for him. This ain't Harm Clark. I'm like, "Hey man, we gonna hoop." I'm like 17, about to be 18. I got a car and shit. I'm just like, "Hey man, I'm trying to go see this boy to hoop," but he didn't have no cell phone. And she was like, "Oh, he off with his friends. He'll be back later." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna leave." She was like, "Well, you want something to eat, some food in there?" So I sat down and 17. Shit, hell yeah, you cook food. I'm eating this shit. Sat on the couch. Man, Willie mama went in the back. I was sitting there chilling. Willie mama came back out with a t-shirt and no drawers under it. And she walked by and I was like,
she know?
Like, it's like, and you're 17, you have zero dick control. It's like the first time it was weird. Then the second time she did it, she came and sat next to me, and like she's sitting there and her shit just gaped open, and I'm just like, that is the largest vagina I've seen in my life, and I'm like, this is not happening, and my dick was like, no, this is definitely happening. This is a grown up woman. And I was like, what is going on? She reached through my basketball shorts and it was on. And I just felt so like, am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Courtney, literally, afterwards, it was over. He never came back. I grabbed some more food, I drank some juice, and I got on my bike, and I rolled my bike back to my car. And then I got home, and I cried. I legit cried. I felt so guilty and bad. And it was just like, I went back over there like days later on some just like, I think I'm going to tell him. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell him. And then I just felt conflicted. So then he ended up coming by looking for me. And then we ended up laughing and talking. We walking and talking. I'm not thinking about it. Walk right back over there to her house. And then she's out there. And then I'm just looking at like, yeah, I got to go, bro. And
what does she look like?
She was brown skinned. Like, she wasn't fat. She wasn't ugly. She wasn't really ugly. She just wasn't like, she was just older. She was just older, nice, decently built black chick. But she had that fade with the blonde hair. But the only thing that was weird, she had the stretch marks from having kids. Mm-hmm. So I had never seen that on some like in-person shit. And so that shit weirded me out a whole lot. And it was just like, after that, I
full naked.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't have nothing on. And so she took her shirt off. And I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. It's a brain. And then it was too late.
Oh my God. How old were you?
17.
Oh, that's right.
And it was my senior year of school. And after that, I was just like, bruh. I was like,
she raped you. No, I'm just kidding.
She didn't rape me. It just was.
No, that's child. What is it called? You were underage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What?
Well, what about you?
I don't know if I can follow that.
Yeah, you can. Come on now. Let's go ahead and get it on out here. Ooh, let's get it.
All right. I need some more MD. Pour me some more MD.
No, here it is.
Oh, man.
It sounds like this is going to be good. Let's go on and get it out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, I was a background dancer and I was on tour.
Oh, you did have sex with the dude that was the fat dude with the money.
No, I didn't have like full blown.
I was like, all right.
No. So he's not a body count, but he was like, just let me do that for you and I'll give you $200. And at the time I was like,
how fat is Courtney?
oh my gosh. It's not even like regular, like literally he's the size of this couch. Literally. Like we've never seen him walk. That's how big he is. It's so bad. Oh my God. And we would make jokes because he was so large. On our big tour bus, you know how they had the bunk beds? He couldn't fit in those, so he had like the front living room. He had to just like sit there because he couldn't lay down. So literally he would just sit there because he was so big, and he didn't move. And whenever we were like, we would see him in a different place, we'd be like, how did he get there? He was like, bing, bing. But he'd only walk when no one was looking because he was so large. He's literally the size of this. Like, I remember being we practiced somewhere, and he was like walking through the hallway to come see us because we were gonna do like a run through of the show. And as he was I was like, I had to go to the bathroom. But as he was walking, he's so large that both of his arms were touching each side of the hallway, so no one could get past. That's how big he was.
Mind you, we're married. And I get told no from time to time. 85% of the time. Not a lot of times. And I'm just like, but you let this blob.
He didn't do any. He couldn't do anything else.
Sometimes
He asked, he's like, can I just perform this for you? And I'll give you $200 if you let me do it. And I was like, I thought long and hard on that for a few weeks. And I was like, dang, I got bills I got to pay. The money I'm making on tour is cool. But right now, I got bills right now that I'm behind on. And I don't like just, I would always have enough just to pay my bills and just do stuff that I had to do. Cell phone. I was like, I would like to go get my nails done or something nice. I would like to do something nice for myself. $200 would really help with that.
Any that didn't require money, that was just, you said you.
Jadakiss's manager. So long ago.
Tell me about this. How
It was Super Bowl, and they were in town for the Super Bowl, and we was riding around town, and we were just going everywhere, and I really wasn't even gonna, like, I wasn't even on that. It just kind of happened. It just happened. And then
you had no point in the night when you was like, all right, I think he's gonna try and smash.
No.
How did y'all even get into that position?
We went back to the house they rented. Now, mind you, this is before Airbnb and all that kind of stuff. They rented a house in Jacksonville, so we went, and then we were chilling, and then we were like talking, and then it was like bing, bing. It was like one of those gray nights where you like so lit, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this really happening right now? Crap. And then I had this sober moment where I looked and I saw a little bit of gray, and I was like, oh, this nigga's mad old. But that was really like the third person I'd ever done anything with, really. So I was still brand new, and I was still
yeah.
And I was like barely, like 20, barely. So I was probably 19, to be honest. Yeah. And it was mostly because I would, if I saw him in a room, I wouldn't recognize him at all.
Yeah. That's how
I don't know his name. I wouldn't recognize him. I just know it was Jadakiss's manager
at the time, and it's hope it was his manager and not a nigga that was just saying he was the manager for like the little.
No, it really was, because we were partnering with Jadakiss the whole night, and he was like the one orchestrating everything. He really was a manager.
Too many times Lil Paul done orchestrated shit, and it was not my manager at all. Simon or Ernest.
Yeah,
shit.
but that's like on a different, like, it was like I could tell who the people were that was just hanging around, because it was only like a handful of dudes.
Oh, okay.
I could tell who the people were just hanging around. I could tell who the people were that did certain things. He was the one, hey, blah, 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 like calling the shots. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, man, that's embarrassing.
It's not bad. Let's see. Well, this has been fun and eventful. For those of you guys that want to play at home, we got plenty of questions. Definitely make sure you follow us on our social media. And always know, there's nothing wrong with taking shots of truth and having a moment with your friends.
Yeah, this is fun.
Hey, man.
We'll have the online version, too, done soon.
Yeah, you're going to see it all. So, signing off from our first edition, Billy and Coco on the Roxx. Here's to you.